Accident through road vehicles. Every year, the lives of approximately 1.3 million people are cut short as a result of a road traffic crash. Between 20 and 50 million more people suffer non-fatal injuries, with many incurring a disability as a result of their injury. Road traffic injuries cause considerable economic losses to individuals, their families, and nations as a whole. These losses arise from the cost of treatment as well as lost productivity for those killed or disabled by their injuries and for family members who need to take time off work or school to care for the injured. Road traffic crashes cost most countries 3% of their gross.
Hi friends, today I'm going to be presenting to you some key facts that have been gathered from accident occurrence around the world and their causes. Without much ado, let's jump into the presentation. Approximately 1.3 million people die each year as a result of road traffic crashes. The United Nations General Assembly has set an ambitious target of having the global numbers of deaths and injuries from road traffic crashes by 2030. A/red/74/2099. Road traffic crashes cost most countries 3% of their gross domestic product. More than half of all road traffic deaths are among vulnerable road users, pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists. 93% of the world fatality on the roads occur in low and middle income countries, even though these countries have approximately 60% of the world's vehicles. Road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death for children and young adults aged 5 to 29 years. Road accident is the most unwanted thing to happen to a road user, though they happen quite often. The most unfortunate thing is that we don't learn from our mistakes on road. Most of the road users are quite well aware of the general rules and safety measures while using roads. But it is only the laxity on part of road users which cause accidents and crashes. The main cause of accident and crashes is due to human errors. We are elaborating on some of the common behavior of humans which results in accidents.
Behaviors which leads to accidents. First, overspeeding. Second, drunken driving. Third, red light jumping. And fourth, distractions to driver.
Overspeeding. Most of the fatal accidents occur due to overspeeding. It is a natural psyche of humans to excel. If given a chance, man is sure to achieve infinity in speed. But when we are sharing road with other users, we will always remain behind some or other vehicle. An increase in speed multiplies the risk of accident and severity of injury during an accident. Faster vehicles are more prone to accidents than slower ones, and the severity of the accident will be more in case of faster. Severity of the accident will be more in case of faster vehicles. Higher the speed, the greater the risk. The vehicle needs a greater distance to stop at high speed, that is, braking distance. A slower vehicle comes to halt immediately, while a faster one takes a long time to stop and also skids a long distance due to the law of motion. A vehicle moving at high speed will have a greater impact during the crash and hence will cause more injuries. The ability to judge the forthcoming events also gets reduced while driving at a higher speed, which causes error.
Number 2. Drunken driving. Consumption of alcohol to celebrate any occasion is common, but when mixed with driving, it turns celebration into a misfortune. Alcohol reduces concentration. It decreases the reaction time of the human body. Limbs take more to react to the instruction of the brain. It hampers vision due to dizziness. Alcohol dampens fear and incites human to take risks. All these factors while driving cause accident and many times it proves fatal. For every increase of 0.05 blood alcohol concentration, the risk of accident doubles. Apart from alcohol, many drugs, medicine also affect the scale and concentration necessary for driving. First of all, we recommend not to consume alcohol, but if you feel your merrymaking is not complete without booze, do not drive under the influence of alcohol. Ask a theater friend or to drop you home.
Red light jumping. It is a common sight at road intersections that vehicles cross without caring for the light. The main motive behind red light jumping is saving time. The common conception is that stopping at red signal is a wastage of time and fuel. Studies have given that traffic signals followed properly by all drivers save time and commuters reach their destination safely and timely. A red light jumper not only jeopardizes his life but also safety of other road users. This act by one driver incites another driver to attempt it and finally causes chaos at the crossing. This chaos at the intersection is the main cause of traffic jams. Eventually, everybody gets late to their destinations. It has also been seen that the red light jumper crosses the intersection with greater speed to avoid crashes and chalan, but it hampers his ability to judge the ongoing. Overspeeding. Most of the fatal accidents occur due to overspeeding. It is a natural cycle of humans to excel. If given a chance, man is sure to achieve infinity in speed. But when we are sharing road with other users, we will always remain behind some or other vehicle. An increase in speed multiplies the risk of accident and severity of injury during an accident. Faster vehicles are more prone to accidents than slower ones, and the severity of the accident will be more in case of faster severity of the accident will be more in case of faster vehicles. Higher the speed, the greater the risk. The vehicle needs a greater distance to stop at high speed, that is, braking distance. A slower vehicle comes to halt immediately, while a faster one takes a long time to stop and also skids a long distance due to the law of motion. A vehicle moving at high speed will have a greater impact during the crash and hence will cause more injuries. The ability to judge the forthcoming events also gets reduced while driving at a higher speed, which causes error.
Accidents to trains. Train accidents aren't as common as other transportation accidents, which perhaps is why they aren't viewed as a major threat. Although railroads aren't used as often as they were in centuries past, they still remain quite active. In fact, trains are still quite common in the US, particularly subways, commuter trains, trams, etc. In the United States alone, there are approximately 600 railroads, hundreds of thousands of miles of tracks, and over 290,000 railroad crossings. Unfortunately, when train accidents happen, they often result in serious injuries and fatalities. Train accident statistics. According to the Federal Railroad Administration, in 2014, there were 11,896 train accidents at railroad crossings, resulting in 804 fatalities and thousands of injuries over that year. Trains are estimated to kill one person every 100 minutes. Each year, nearly 1,000 people are killed in train related accidents. More than half of all railroad accidents occur at unprotected crossings. More than 80% of crossings lack adequate warning devices such as lights and gates. Occupants of vehicles that collide with a train are 40 times more likely to die than if they had collided with other vehicles of comparable size. Every 2 weeks, a train carrying hazardous material derails in the United States.
Causes of railroad accidents. There are varieties of reasons why the train accident occurs, most of which take place at crossings when cars try to beat the train. When these accidents occur, they often involve the passengers, drivers, and some passerby. While every case is unique, the most common cause of train accident includes negligence, human error, reckless pedestrian and driver, mechanical failure, speedily train, defective tracks, derailments, unprotected railroad crossings, stalled car on the track. Descriptions of major causes of railroad accidents. First, derailments. In railroading, a derailment occurs when a rail vehicle such as train comes off its rail. Although many derailments are minor, all results in a temporary disruption of the proper operation of railway system, and they are potentially serious and hazard. A derailment of a train can be caused by a collision with another object, an operational error such as excessive speed through a curve, a mechanical failure of the track such as broken rails, or mechanical failures of the wheel, among other causes. In emergency, derailment with derails or catch point is sometimes used to prevent a major serious accident.
Mechanical failure. The train operator, railway employees, and the company itself can do everything within the ability to follow all the required safety procedures, but a train accident can still happen. Mechanical failure and defective parts are more rare than other common causes of train collisions, but they do occasionally happen. Trains are large machines with complex systems and many moving parts. All of the different systems must work together perfectly to provide some locomotive and electric power. If some piece of guidance equipment such as rail switch or safety equipment such as rail signal fails, it can cause a deadly accident. Speedy trains. Time and again, car accident data proves that driving recklessly fast can lead to serious injuries and deaths. Trains are no exception. Many train accidents in recent years showed that the faster the train, the worse the consequences become in the event of a crash and the higher likelihood of derailment.
Accidents through ships. The global shipping industry is responsible for transporting as much as 90% of world trade. Over the past decade, improved ship design technology, regulation, and risk management systems have contributed to a 70% drop in reported shipping losses. However, while the frequency of maritime accidents may be in decline, one single incident can have catastrophic and long-term consequences for maritime ecosystems, environment, and local economy, exacerbated further by the fact that maritime transportation vessels are increasing in size and the amounts of cargo on board with them. For instance, in September 2019, Brazil's northeastern state of Bahia declared an emergency after an oil spill from the tanker Ugolina contaminated kilometers of coastal beaches. In August 2020, Americas also declared a state environmental emergency after the MV Washington ran around a point East Presley, spilling oil into an area renowned as a sanctuary for rare wildlife. These type of accidents attract the attention of media and heighten the concerns of people around the world, as images of the damage to maritime wildlife and the environment are graphically visible. Despite the percentage fall in the total reported losses, the number of accidents, especially those related to passenger car carrier vessels and railroads has increased. Therefore, this study's starting point was to understand further why maritime accidents with such wide-range consequences continue to occur. Maritime transport accidents are complex and caused by a combination of events or processes involving various actors that are ultimately led to disastrous consequences, including loss of human and maritime life and irreparable ecological, environmental, and economic damage. Apart from uncontrollable acts of God defined as an extreme interruption with a natural cause, that is, earthquake, storm, etc., the literature currently highlights human error as one of the main contributing factors in more than 85% of cases of maritime accidents. Furthermore, experts estimate that 50 to 50% of oil spills are caused directly or indirectly by human error. Despite this, there is a surprising dearth of research in the maritime literature investigating human error in the maritime context. This leads us to the question the role of humans in maritime transport ecosystem and our current state-of-the-art research regarding human errors as the main cause of maritime transportation accidents. How have the researchers considered and framed human errors? What research agenda is recommended to integrate the human error to avoid human errors from an organization science perspective, including organizational and collaborative network ecosystem? The paper is organized as follows. The first paper lays out the general context of maritime transportation industry. the main causes of vessel accidents, and the role of human error in maritime accidents. Then, the five-step diplomatic review method for this study is described. The findings are collated, analyzed, and discussed to provide a deeper understanding of what currently constitutes human error. Finally, a research agenda to investigate maritime accidents and human errors from a socio-organizational perspective to prevent future accidents is proposed.
The maritime transportation industry, distinct maritime culture, is characterized by its global nature, working conditions, autonomy, and complexity. The global nature of the shipping industry means worldwide competition is driving ship owners to seek ever increasing cost efficiency. Maritime shipping is heavily influenced by the global economic, trade, and environmental trends and was significantly impacted by the economic downturn in 2020 resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the UN Tower 2020, the total world fleet consists of 98,140 commercial ships over 100 gross tons GT. Of these, the numbers of gas carrier, oil tankers, bulk carriers, and container ships grew most rapidly over the year 2020. Despite the advance in technology, processes, procedures, trainings, and regulations, a total of 193 vessels exceeding 100 GT were lost over the 3 years from 2017, meaning true sinking 72%, grounding 50%, fire explosion 10%, and machinery damage or failure 6%. The type of cargo and size of the vessel has a big impact on the extent and consequences of an accident at sea. Crude oil alone accounted for around 17 to 20% of total seaborne goods loaded between 2010 and 2019, and the amount of crude oil transported annually averages around 1,800 million metric tons. In addition to the type of cargo, the increasing size of vessels can impact safety, effective fire prevention, and salvage in the event of an accident, highlighted so vividly by the recent case of the Ever Given witch in the Suez Canal. Over the past 50 years, the size and capacity of vessels have increased by 1,500%, with the larger container ship now being as big as the larger oil tanker and bigger than the larger cruise ships. According to the ITOPF 2019, between 2010 and 2018, 91% of all oil ships spills resulted from 10 incidents, an increase from the previous decade where 75% of oil spills resulted from 10 incidents. Indeed, many studies identify collisions as a major cause of oil spills accidents in over half of the cases, most occurring while the vessels are on a way or in open water. The catastrophe or end of the long-term human, economic, ecological, and consequences of accidents involving live vessels carrying increased volumes of highly toxic pollutant can be felt globally. The focus of this study is to investigate human error (HE) in all types of maritime transportation with view to better understanding these errors to prevent future devastating accidents.
In addition to increasing the size of vessels, another very common way ship owners reduce their fixed cost is by hiring multinational crews from developing countries or reducing the number of crew members on board. This often leads to deprioritizing employee training and increased communication and comprehension problem between the multilingual and multicultural crew, who cannot effectively communicate with and understand one another. Crew members also inevitably transfer their cultural perspectives, stereotypes, and racial prejudices, leading to cultural tensions and strained relationships. These tensions are further exacerbated by long working hours, a noisy environment, a sense of isolation and loneliness, poor and often shared living conditions with little privacy, and the impossibility of getting away to enjoy free time alone. Living and working under such conditions for long period can affect crew morale and raise stress levels, ultimately leading to fatigue, loss of concentration and focus, lower productivity, and ultimately accidents.
Accidents through planes. Plane is perhaps no type of passenger vehicle crash more frightening or devastating than an aviation accident. Aviation accidents are more often than non-catastrophic and devastating for more than just the people on plane. And while the total number of aviation accidents has increased since 1980s, when they happened, the results are utterly determinable. What causes these crashes? Frustratingly, there is never an easy question to answer. However, it's an important one to ask right away if you or loved one have been involved in an aviation crash. Here are some most common reasons. 1. Pilot error. As aircraft have become more reliable, the proportion of crashes caused by pilot error has increased and now stands at around 50%. Aircraft are complex machines that require a lot of management because pilots actively engage with the aircraft at stage of a flight. There are numerous opportunities for this to go wrong, from failing to program the vital flight management computer correctly to miscalculating the required fuel uplift. While such errors are regrettable, it is important to remember that a pilot in the last line of defense, when the things go catastrophically wrong in January 2009, an Airbus A320 hit a flock of geese over New York City. With no power, the captain quickly surrendered to weigh up the several options and act quickly. Using his extensive flight experience and knowledge of the plane's handling qualities, he elected to ditch the aircraft in the Hudson River. The 150 passengers were not saved by computers or any automated system. They were saved by the two pilots. Mechanical errors. Equipment failures still account for around 20% of aircraft losses, despite improvements in design and manufacturing quality. While engines are significantly more reliable today than they were half a century ago, they still occasionally suffer catastrophic failures. In 1989, a disintegrating fan race caused the number one engine of a Belfast-bound British Midland Boeing 737-400 to lose power. Hard-to-read instrumentation contributed to the pilot's misleading of which engine was losing power. The pilot shut off the number 2 engine. With no power, the aircraft crashed short of East Midland Airport runways, 27 killings and 47 injuring many, including the captain and the first officer. More recently, a Qantas A380 carrying 459 passengers and crews suffered an uncontained engine failure over Batam Islands, Indonesia. Thanks to the skill of the pilots, the stricken aircraft landed safely. Sometimes, new technologies introduce new types of failures. In 1950s, for example, the introduction of high-flying pressurized jet aircraft introduced an entirely new hazard: metal fatigue brought on by the hull's pressurization cycle. Several high-profile disasters caused by this problem led to the withdrawal of the Haliburton Comet aircraft model pending design changes.
Number 3. Weather. Bad weather accounts for around 10% of aircraft losses. Despite a plethora of electronic aids like gyroscopic compass, satellite navigation, and weather data link-ups, aircraft still founder in storms, snow, and fog. In December 2005, Southwest Airlines Flight 1248, flying from Baltimore Washington International Airport to Chicago Midway International Airport, attempted to land in a snowstorm. It skidded off the runway and crashed into a line of cars, killing a toddler. One of the most notorious bad weather incidents occurred in February 1958 when a British European Airways twin-engined passenger aircraft crashed while attempting to take off from Munich Rhein Airport. Many of the 23 killed on aircraft played for Manchester United Football Club. Investors established that aircraft has been slowed to such a degree by a slush, also known to pilots as runaway contamination, that it failed to achieve takeoff speed. Surprisingly, perhaps the lightning is not the threat that many passengers believe or fear it to be. Number 4. Sabotage. About 10% of aircraft losses are caused by sabotage. As with lightning strikes, the risk posed by sabotage is much less than many people seem to believe. Nevertheless, there have been numerous spectacular and shocking attacks by saboteurs. The September 1970 hijacking of three passenger jet aircraft to Dawson's Field in Jordan was a watershed movement in aviation history that prompted a review of security. Hijacked by devotees of Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, the three aircrafts were blown up in full view of the world press. Despite improvements, malcontents still penetrate the security veil as of 2001 shoe bomber Richard Reid. Fortunately, Reid attempt to bring down an aircraft mid-flight proved unsuccessful. Number 5. Human errors. The remaining loss are attributed to other type of human errors like mistake made by air traffic controllers, dispatchers, loader, fuelers or maintenance engineers. Sometimes required to work long shift, maintenance engineer can make potentially catastrophic mistakes. In 1990, a windscreen blowout on a British Airways flight nearly cost the life of aircraft's captain. According to the Air Accident Investigation Branch, almost all the windscreen 90 securing bolts were smaller than specified diameter. Rather than attributing the mismatch between bolts and countersunk holes to his selection of wrong size bolts, the maintenance engineer responsible for fitting the new windscreen blamed oversized countersinks. The engineer has not been sleeping well and did the windscreen replacement work during the period when his body clock wanted him to sleep, a time when reasoning and judgment easily falter. Pollution problem due to current situation of vehicles. Pollution through vehicles. Since the beginning of life on this planet, the atmosphere has functioned as an acceptor of emitted waste. When the convenience and comforts of man are increasing, he has to upset the delicate balance of nature. By causing pollution, man has subjected the whole human race to slow death. Air pollution is of two types: gaseous pollution and particulate pollution gases like carbon monoxide, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, and hydrogen fluoride. Vehicular pollution is the introduction of harmful material into the environment by motor vehicles. These materials, known as pollutants, have several bad effects on human health and the ecosystem. The air pollution from vehicles in urban areas, particularly in big cities, has become a serious problem. Vehicle population crosses 2.5 crore mark in TN, while the overall number of vehicles of all types stood at about 2.56 crore as of March 31, 2018. Two-wheelers constituted 84% of this. A typical passenger vehicle emits about 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. This assumes the average gasoline vehicle on the road today has a fuel economy of about 22.0 miles per gallon and drives around 11,500 miles per year. Every gallon of gasoline burned creates about 8,887 grams of CO2. Pollutants released by motorist vehicles include carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide in the form of nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide, hydrocarbon sulfur oxides in forms of sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide, and particulate. Vehicles that produce other emissions such as volatile organic compounds, carbon monoxide, and oxides of nitrogen are criteria air contaminants, and these emissions are known to contribute to air pollution and smoke.
Causes of vehicular pollution. Number 1. Traffic congestion. In most urban cities, the number of motor vehicles is high, and as such, there is congestion of traffic. When these many vehicles congest a singular area, the emissions per kilometer go up, contributing to vehicular pollution. Traffic congestion is a bane to urban life. Cities have other serious problems, of course, but few of these problems touch such a large share of city residents daily. In part, for this reason, congestion gets a tremendous amount of attention from elected officials, residents, and news organizations. Number 2, the combustion process. Combustion is a chemical process. It is a reaction between the fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and oxygen. The main product of the combustion process are carbon dioxide and water. The combustion process is always exothermic and it liberates heat. The actual reaction taking place due to combustion can be written down as fuel plus oxygen results product plus heat. When there is perfect combustion, oxygen converts all hydrogen and gasoline into the water and the carbon into carbon dioxide. However, vehicles also emit other pollutants which pollute the air and are of particularly harmful effect to human and the environment.
Technical issue with gasoline engines. There are several issues with gasoline engines that could result in vehicular pollution. For instance, evaporated emission occurs when fuel tanks get mixed with the atmosphere by getting evaporated from fuel tanks or carburetors. Also, in four-stroke gasoline engines, if combusted fuels and air fuels mixture from the carburetor escape past the piston rings and enter the crankcase and then gets leaked into the atmosphere through the vent, a crankcase blow-by occurs.
Effects of vehicular pollution. Global warming. Global warming is caused due to the spreading of greenhouse gases around the globe as a blanket that doesn't allow the earth to radiate heat and entraps the heat within the earth's atmosphere. And its effects can last from 500 years to an estimate of about 200 years after its exhalation.
It results in acid rain. Acid rain affects nearly everything. Plants, soil, trees, buildings, and even statues can be transformed by precipitation. Dead or dying trees are common sight in areas affected by acid rains. Acid rain leaches aluminium from the soil. That aluminium may be harmful to the plant as well as animal. Acid rain also removes minerals and nutrients from the soil that trees needs to grow.
Reduce visibility. Vehicles produce a lot of emissions and can at times make visibility a problem, especially if an old vehicle or a truck carrying a lot of loads drives by. Such vehicles produce a lot of smoke, which hampers visibility, making one unable to see what it is in front. This means that if you are driving behind such a vehicle, visibility would be affected, even it is for a few seconds.
The fourth and the last one, poor air quality. Vehicular pollution has destroyed the air so much that in some countries, people have to wear face masks to reduce the number of harmful substances inhaled. In the US particularly, vehicles produce about a third of the nation's air pollution.